Tell me how you guys manage different parts of inventory for a programmer like NBC.
So if you think about it in a couple of different buckets, on the one hand, you're talking about NBC's upfront business, where they're striking large deals well in advance of the new TV season. And given that they're getting those large upfront commitments, what they're getting in exchange for that are lower rates, right? They'll cut them a deal on the rate in order to get the large upfront commitment, or they'll get it in scatter and the rate will be higher. If you talk about across our inventory pools, right? That's not just our direct sold and our indirect sold, which is important, but it's also our CTV versus our set-top box VOD versus our digital IP, web, and mobile traffic. The ability to unify across all of those things, take into account the ability to deliver against an upfront commitment while also maximizing yield on the scatter side or on the programmatic side, frankly, most importantly for this specific announcement that we're talking about here, but also the ability to do that across screens in the most intelligent way possible by limiting exposure, by maximizing reach and frequency, and then by also being able to look at yield and revenue and be able to maximize against those things too. So it's really not just an X and Y axis here, but an X, Y, Z, A, and B axis, if you think about it that way.
So what do you think what's the roadmap for this product with FreeWheel?
So right now we're in general availability for our programmer customers. Right behind this, our distributor customers are going to general availability. From here, we have what we're focused on here are private exchange. So those are PMP type private auctions and the programmatic guaranteed functionality. Looking forward, we'll be talking about our open exchange functionality, how we are opening this up to sort of the many buyers, many sellers scenario, which is the ultimate vision here, right? How can we get premium customers of ours the best access to demand if they're a supply customer? And if they're an agency-facing strata customer or programmatic partner, how can we get them the most possible exposure to many suppliers while also respecting those suppliers' desire to run certain advertisers or desire to limit certain types of inventory to programmatic, or whatever the actual scenario may be? How can we provide transparency and flexibility across all of those things?
Geoff, I wanted to ask you, what are the implications of this new arrangement with the Trade Desk and with NBCU, and what does it mean for FreeWheel and perhaps what we've been talking about programmatic TV seems like for years? Where does this bring us?
The best part about this unified decisioning functionality that we're now bringing to market in general availability is that it's enabling the media transaction to reduce friction across that supply and demand chain. So how are we unifying demand to mitigate the overexposure of the same campaign because of the awareness of all of the demand sources that a given publisher is coming to bear with? So the ability to actually unify that demand across channels gives programmers and publishers a degree of flexibility to be able to maximize the revenue and yield across those things.